History is not a record of everything that happened. It is a record of what survived. Stone survives, paper survives, power survives. But truth often disappears quietly. This documentary is not about a battle. It is not about a hero. And it is not about a victory. It is about silence. Because nearly 2,000 years ago, the most powerful empire on Earth lost something it was never supposed to lose: control. To understand how this happened, we must first understand Rome. The Roman Empire was not just an empire of soldiers. It was an empire of systems, of lists, of order. Rome counted everything: grain shipments, tax payments, land boundaries, births, deaths, names. Every soldier who joined a legion was recorded. Every promotion, every punishment, every discharge. A Roman legion was not just an army unit, it was an identity. To lose a legion was to lose face, to lose belief, to lose authority. Rome ruled not just through force, but through certainty. The certainty that resistance was pointless. The certainty that Rome always won. The certainty that Rome remembered everything, and that is why this story is so disturbing. Because one Roman legion does not end. It simply stops existing. No farewell, no defeat, no explanation, only absence. The legion was known as the Ninth, Legio Nona Hispana, one of the oldest units in Roman history. Its soldiers fought in the civil wars that shaped the empire. They marched with Julius Caesar. They conquered Gaul. They survived rebellions that wiped out weaker units. This was not a forgotten legion. This was not expendable manpower. This was Rome's steel. By the 1st century, the 9th Legion was stationed in Britannia, a province Rome claimed to control, but never truly did. Britain was not like Gaul. It was colder, wetter, darker. Its forests swallowed roads. Its tribes refused open battle. Its land resisted Roman order. Roman warfare depended on visibility. Clear formations, open ground. Britain offered shadows. Still, Rome pushed north. The 9th marched, built forts, laid roads, collected taxes, crushed uprisings, year after year. Until something changed. The records slow, mentions become routine, administrative, unimportant. Then they stop. No final orders, no casualty reports, no honors, no punishment. An entire legion disappears from the Roman world. And Rome says nothing. This silence is not accidental. Rome documented defeats, even humiliating ones. When legions were destroyed in Germany at the Battle of Teutoburg Forest, Rome recorded it, mourned it, changed strategy. But the 9th, nothing. No mourning, no reform, no warning. It is as if someone reached into history and removed them. To understand why, we must understand Rome's greatest fear. It was not invasion. It was not rebellion. It was not death, it was uncertainty. An empire exists because people believe it is permanent, unbreakable, inevitable. A destroyed legion tells a dangerous story. A story that Rome can be beaten, that Rome can lose control. And control was everything. Rome controlled narratives, symbols, memory. Victory, arches rose over cities. Defeats were reframed as strategy. Failures were buried under paperwork. When Rome wanted something remembered, it carved it in stone. When Rome wanted something forgotten, it erased it. Names could be scratched from inscriptions. Records could be altered. Units could be reassigned on paper. History could be edited. And somewhere between ink and stone, the 9th Legion vanished. But disappearance does not happen in a single moment. It happens in stages. First, the movement orders stop, then replacements stop, then mention stops. Finally, memory stops. This documentary will not rush to an answer, because Rome did not rush to erase the truth. It took time. And the deeper we go, the clearer it becomes. The Ninth Legion did not just die. It threatened something Rome could not afford to lose. In Part 2, we will trace the Ninth Legion from its birth, through its wars, into the minds of the soldiers who marched north, never knowing they would be erased from history itself. Before the Ninth Legion vanished, it lived. And to understand how an entire legion could be erased, we must first understand who these men were. The Ninth Legion was not born in peace. It was forged in civil war. In the final days of the Roman Republic, Rome was tearing itself apart. Generals fought generals. Brother fought brother. Legions were not loyal to Rome. They were loyal to commanders. The Ninth emerged during this chaos. It learned survival before honor, adaptation before glory. These soldiers were not naive. They understood betrayal. They understood power. They understood how quickly yesterday's hero could become today's traitor. That experience shaped the legion's character. When Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon, the Ninth followed. When Gaul resisted, the Ninth crushed it. They fought in forests, in mud, against enemies who did not fight in lines. They learned brutality, efficiency, and endurance. Many legions broke in Gaul. The Ninth did not. When Caesar became dictator, the Ninth stood among his most trusted forces. This mattered because legions remembered. They carried traditions, stories, grudges. A legion was a living memory. After Caesar's death, Rome reorganized. Empires prefer stability. Old loyalties are dangerous. Yet the Ninth survived. It was sent to Spain, then reassigned, then sent to the edges of the empire, not as punishment, but as reliance. Rome sent its strongest units where failure was unacceptable. By the 1st century, the Ninth was a veteran legion, hardened, experienced, confident. Its soldiers had survived campaigns that destroyed lesser men. These were not conscripts dreaming of glory. They were professionals. They had families, homes, retirement land promised to them. They believed Rome would reward loyalty. Then came Britain. Britannia was supposed to be simple, a distant island, fragmented tribes, limited resistance. Rome miscalculated. Britain was not one enemy. It was many, invisible, patient. The Ninth arrived expecting conquest. What they found was attrition. Roads disappeared into forests. Forts required constant rebuilding. Supply lines stretched thin. There were no decisive victories, only endless skirmishes. Roman soldiers trained for clarity, for commands shouted across open fields. In Britain, they fought shadows. The Ninth adapted. They always had. They learned local terrain, adjusted patrols, built deeper fortifications. But adaptation has a psychological cost. Soldiers began to feel isolated, forgotten, trapped at the edge of the world. Letters took months to arrive. Replacements arrived slowly, sometimes not at all. Rome felt distant, and distance breeds doubt. Still, the Ninth obeyed. They marched north, again and again. Each time, Rome asked more. Push further, hold longer, risk more. There were rumors, stories whispered around campfires, entire patrols vanishing, villages empty one day, burning the next, enemies who never stood still. And Rome's orders never changed. Advance. The Ninth Legion was not afraid of death, but it feared meaninglessness. Dying for Rome was acceptable. Dying forgotten was not. Somewhere in these years, the Ninth stopped feeling like conquerors. They became occupiers, then survivors, then ghosts. This matters, because when the Legion vanished, Rome did not treat it as a tragedy. It treated it as a problem. a legion with history, with loyalty, with identity, a legion whose disappearance would raise questions. In Part 3, we will enter Britain itself, the land that resisted Rome longer than any other. And we will see why this place, more than any enemy, may have broken the Ninth Legion long before it disappeared. Rome conquered by reshaping the world. It built roads where forests stood, cities where villages once burned, borders where chaos once ruled. Rome did not adapt to land. It forced land to adapt to Rome. Britain refused. To the Roman mind, Britain was supposed to be temporary resistance, a problem to be solved with enough soldiers. But Britain was not a single battlefield. It was an environment of erosion. The land itself fought back. Forests were thick and endless. Visibility vanished after a few meters. Roads turned to mud under constant rain. Roman armor was heavy. Roman shields were wide. Roman formations required discipline and space. Britain offered neither. Tribes did not meet Rome in open fields. They watched. They waited. They attacked at night. Supply wagons disappeared. Messengers never returned. Forts were isolated islands in hostile land. For Roman soldiers, this created a new kind of fear. Not fear of death, but fear of uncertainty. Every patrol could be the last. Every forest path could hide hundreds of eyes. Roman training did not prepare soldiers for this. They were drilled to advance, to hold lines, to obey clear commands. In Britain, commands dissolved in fog. The tribes knew the land. They moved silently. They struck without warning. Victory meant nothing. Defeat meant nothing. There were no final battles, only attrition. The Ninth Legion spent years here, marching north, building forts, watching them burn. The further north they went, the weaker Rome's grip became. Rome believed conquest was linear, that progress always moved forward. Britain taught Rome something terrifying. Progress could reverse. Soldiers grew exhausted. Morale declined. Reinforcements arrived slowly. Some never arrived at all. Rome expected fear to break resistance. Instead, resistance fed on Roman presence. Every fort became a target, every road a liability. The Ninth adapted again. Smaller patrols, more scouts, heavier fortifications. But adaptation blurred doctrine. The legion no longer looked like a Roman legion. It became something else. Isolated, stretched, exposed. Then came the north, Caledonia, a land even Rome barely understood. Mountains, bogs, endless cold. Tribes here did not negotiate. They did not submit. They did not leave survivors to tell stories. Roman scouts returned wounded, if they returned at all. Rome's orders remained unchanged. Advance. The Ninth marched into land Rome could not map, and something shifted. The legion stopped appearing in triumphal messages. Its victories were no longer announced. Communication slowed, then fractured. Rome was far away, and Britain felt infinite. For the soldiers of the Ninth, Britain became a place where Rome's promises felt hollow. Land grants, citizenship, honor, none of it mattered if survival itself was uncertain. This is where theories begin. Because somewhere in this landscape, the Ninth Legion encountered something Rome could not easily explain. Not a single enemy, not a single defeat, but a slow collapse of certainty. In Part 4, we will examine the final known movements of the Ninth Legion, the last inscriptions, the last records, and the moment where history stopped speaking entirely.